Post Daily Devotional. We are in chapter 25. Paul has been arrested. He's been in jail for 2 years while the governor of the area of Caesarea tries to decide exactly what he should do with this troublemaker who's disrupting things and causing such turmoil among the Jewish authorities. And so now we see the next step in his journey. After several days had passed, King Agrippa and Bernice arrived in Caesarea to welcome Festus. Since they were staying there for many days, Festus discussed the case against Paul with the king. He said, "There is a man whom Felix left in prison. When I was in Jerusalem, the Jewish chief priests and elders brought charges against him and requested a guilty verdict in his case. I told them it is contrary to Roman practice to hand someone over before they had faced their accusers and had opportunity to offer a defense against the charges. When they came here, I didn't put them off. The very next day, I took my seat in the court and ordered that the man be brought before me. When the accusers took the floor, they didn't charge him with any of the crimes I had expected. Instead, they quibbled with him about their own religion and about some dead man named Jesus who Paul claimed was alive. Since I had no idea how to investigate these matters, I asked if he would be willing to go to Jerusalem to stand trial there on these issues. However, Paul appealed that he be held in custody pending a decision from His Majesty the Emperor, so I ordered that he be held until I could send him to seizure. Agrippa said to Festus, "I want to hear the man myself." "Tomorrow," Festus replied, "you will hear him." And we will next week hear the last summaries of Paul's defense in his own right. But Paul has got a little bit of, can you imagine you've been brought up on religious charges and held in jail, and yet you still demand to speak to the king, to Caesar, to the emperor, right? Yeah, it amazes me, Paul's chutzpah. But the thing is, Paul is just living out what his responsibilities are. He was told to testify, and he was asked to use the power of his Roman citizenship to protect himself, to testify for as long as he could, and in as many places as he could. And so he's really just fulfilling what God has asked him to do. Now, it's interesting. The Roman authorities acknowledge that Paul hasn't done anything wrong as far as they're concerned. He hasn't broken any laws. He hasn't violated anything as far as the state is concerned. This is essentially an argument among Jews who are arguing about the position of this rabbi, this Jesus, and what the future of their religion should be. And the state, the king, the governor, even Caesar, acknowledge that they have no role in that argument, that their job isn't to navigate or to moderate religious debate, to try to figure out what the religious tradition says. Like, that's not their role. Their role is completely different. And I think as people of faith, we have to be careful to keep the right things in the right bucket. That the things that are faith, the things that have to do with our relationship with God, the things that are about our spiritual life and our spiritual depth are kept in their bucket. And the things that have to do with relating to the state are kept in the state's bucket. Now, that doesn't mean they don't interact. It doesn't mean that they don't influence how we respond to people in positions of power or how we respond to what people say. And it doesn't mean that we're not involved in civic matters. It just means that we need to remember the order of operations, essentially, that our faith comes first, that our understanding of the Bible and of who God is comes first, and that the state is not equipped to enforce those things. The state is not equipped to moderate those things. We can't expect the state to enforce our religious beliefs. Paul was using the state to say, "Protect me, I'm a Roman citizen," but he didn't expect Caesar to say, yeah, you know what, this guy's right about this Jesus fellow. You see the difference? It's complicated and messy, but we need to keep things in the right bucket. God bless.